This is the Shoot at the Hip podcast, and on this edition is the final installment of my top greatest matches of all time. We did a countdown from 7 all the way to number 2 so far, and it's about that time that I give you number 1. But first, I'm going to give you the countdown of the matches that I have selected so far. Starting at number 7, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, SummerSlam, Steel Cage for the WWF Championship. Number 6, Kevin Sullivan versus Chris Benoit, Falls Count Anywhere match at the Great American Bash, 1996. Number 5, Bray Wyatt versus the Yes Man, Daniel Bryan. Number 4, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret the Hitman Hart at WrestleMania 13. Number 3, Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 21. And number 2, The Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan, champion versus champion, Skydome, Toronto, Canada at WrestleMania 6. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to give you my top greatest match of all time, and that is Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio at Halloween Havoc 1997. Man, oh man, oh man. This match right here, I don't care how many matches come on. I don't care how many 5-star, 6-star, 8-star classics that Dave Meltzer give out. This match will forever be my greatest match of all time. These two guys tore the house down. Here you see a very young Rey Mysterio and a very young Eddie Guerrero in WCW in the cruiserweight division. And for those that probably don't know that much about WCW in the early days, the cruiserweight division was the best thing on television. Yes, they had the Hulk Hogan's and the Kevin Nash's and the Scott Hall. The NWO was running wild. Then you had a little bit of the Four Horsemen. Then you had, all of these different other superstars, Diamond Dallas Page, Sting, Lex Luger. But I'm talking about the guys that were performing at a high level, the guys that everybody enjoyed was the cruiserweight division. And this was the reason why. You had Eddie Guerrero, who was the cruiserweight champion at the time, going up against Rey Mysterio. And this match was for the cruiserweight championship, but it was also a title versus mask match. If Rey Mysterio would have lost this match, he would have lost his mask. And these guys, for 13 minutes, man, for 13 minutes, stole the show. I mean, if you listen to the commentary of the match, I mean, they were just promoting all the different matches that were going to happen later on in the evening. But these guys were so good in the ring. I mean, so awesome, man. Some of the moves that they were pulling off, some of the aerial attacks. I mean, you had a young Rey Mysterio that was just out there, man, just doing all kind of spectacular moves, man. I remember like one move in particular where Rey Mysterio was on the ground and Eddie Guerrero actually catapulted him to the top rope. Rey Mysterio ends up turning a backflip while he was tight-roping the ropes and hit a DDT on Eddie Guerrero. I mean, unbelievable stuff, man. I'm talking about the great backbreaker that Eddie Guerrero put on. I'm talking about the suicide dive that ended up in a Hurricane Rana. Man, if you have not seen this match, please go check out the WWE Network and check it out, man, because this match is definitely worth seeing. Rey Mysterio ended up winning a Cruiserweight Championship. Yeah, I mean, he didn't have to lose his mask in the process of this match, but I got to tell you, man, this is the greatest match of all time. And it was easy for me to pick this because Eddie Guerrero is my favorite superstar of all time. I mean, I don't care who comes along. I don't care who does what. I don't care what WWE tries to do that tries to replace Eddie Guerrero. They always try to look for that next Mexican superstar. They tried to do it in Alberto Del Rio. They tried to do it in Sin Cara. They probably going to try to do it with Cien Almas. But there's only one Eddie Guerrero, man. I remember exactly where I was when I found out that Eddie Guerrero died back in 2005. I was going to the library to actually do a report. I was in college at the time, And I remember like me just taking a breather from doing a report, and I checked out the WWE website, and the first thing on it was Eddie Guerrero passing away. I never forget that, man. I was so discouraged by the whole situation. I ended up logging off the computer and going back to my room, man, because I could not believe that the great Eddie Guerrero had passed on. But his memory will live on in matches just like this. I mean, he had several other matches, several other matches that we probably can name, some of the matches in particular with Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit. We all know about the famous Brock Lesnar match where he ended up, winning the WWE Championship at No Way Out. The match he had with Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 20. I mean, he had so many other matches that you can choose from, but this match will always stick into my mind because Eddie Guerrero, in my opinion, is the greatest of all time, bar none. And that's my list, ladies and gentlemen, of the top greatest matches of all time. And I thank everyone for checking out my videos. Thank you all for supporting Shoot at the Hip podcast. I ask that you all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't like the video. Thank you all for your support anyway. Also, comment down below, man. Give me your top greatest matches of all time. Also, follow me on Twitter at TJJones8, TJAY Jones8. Once again, thank you all for supporting the Shoot at the Hip podcast. Happy New Year to you all. 2018 is going to be a great year. But until next time, I'll see you down the road.